why we're writing it in the first place is to deal with our own frustration and dealing with pain that you see in stories that you read about people. It becomes much closer to you when you read personal stories about people who really were there and who are in a certain situation or a war or an regime that is oppressing or so. And that's and then immediately stories are starting to grow in your head, and also the music starts coming, and all of a sudden there's a song there, and it's about that. Although it wasn't like we wanted to write a song about Masa Amini and that whole situation of the women being and their whole generation, not just women but also men being oppressed in Iran. But it just came out that way, and it's the same with Ukraine. It just came out that way.
It doesn't sound like you're telling people what to think. It's more of an observation. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I totally agree, because, well, an observation to a certain degree. But I think what we are is like bards, much hasn't changed. We just see a lot happening in the world, and we just tell about those stories, that what's happening. We're just observing and giving it a certain emotion, and also a certain direction also. Hoping that people will start thinking maybe a little bit, not that we think we can do that as a band, but more like to keep the subject alive and to keep that thought going in people's mind, like, am I actually correct the way I'm approaching the subject? And hopefully that people have an open mind about the subject instead of just thinking in black and white, because things are never like that.
And I remember, I'm a big sports fan, and there was a time when athletes got involved with more of the things going on in the world, and there was a lot of backlash. And have you felt that? Because everybody was saying, well, you're just a sports person, just dribble a ball and shut up, kind of, basically. Do you feel was something similar said to you in the music?
Yeah, a lot of people said just shut up and sing, shut up and play, we're not interested in your view. But I think that is what music is about. It's about thoughts, it's about philosophy, it's about so many things, and especially the big topics in the world, because that inspires us. And I think anything that inspires you is your right to talk about. And that's the difference also with living in a democracy. I can say whatever I want to say within certain limits, of course. But I am free to do so. And that's the difference, instead of living in Iran or Russia or whatever. I would have been, I would have been in danger by now, and of course it's not without danger saying these things, because people can react really heavily, and we have noticed that as well. But when you write about it and you have a certain feeling towards it, we have played so many times in both countries, like Ukraine and Russia, and we met a lot of beautiful people and had a great time in both countries. But the fact that for us it was so clear that Russia is the aggressor here, and felt so sorry for a sovereign country like Ukraine to be attacked like that. And it just made no sense to us, and we were very much in shock about it, because we never thought that after the Second World War we would ever see a war like this with this magnitude, because of course there are more wars going on. We had Sarajevo, of course, but it's not like a superpower like Russia. That's a whole different ball game. It's very dangerous, and I think it doesn't stop with the Ukraine, and I don't think we need another country that's going to be oppressed. We need more democracy everywhere, I think, and thinking of that, hoping that we can support them until the end, because it will only turn worse for everyone if there's more countries like Russia who are oppressing their population, and especially so close to home, because that's 2.5 hour flight from our own airport. It's just the same distance as Barcelona for us, so it's a no-brainer.